Trading is the opposite of human nature. I'll tell you why. When you see $1 on the street, do you bend over and pick it up, or do you keep walking? You bend over and pick it up, right? You're like, oh, I got this $1, and that's human nature. And it's the same with trading, right? If you've got a small winner, do you take your small winner now? Or do you let your loser run, thinking hopefully they'll come back, and then you can take your small winner? The people I initially learned to trade from felt that that was the way to trade. And I do not mathematically understand how they can say this. And they say it day after day. Let your losers run and cut your winners short. That doesn't work. This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Uhl. Hey there, traders. Welcome back to today's How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast. Today, we have a special lesson for you. I'm putting it here on the podcast because I really believe that this is going to provide you massive, massive value. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And hey, listen, if this podcast was useful to you at all, I really highly suggest that you go check out the full trading course at AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com. Markets are people. People are predictable. Outlier can show you how to track market fear and greed with artificial intelligence on over 1,300 of the largest market cap names. Visit outlier.com to learn more. That's OVTLYR.com. They have a free pilot program for the rest of 2021 so you can get access to right now at OVTLYR.com. That's OVTLYR.com. Hey, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we give you more tools, tips, and tricks to help you trade faster and trade smarter every single week. Hey there, traders. Welcome back to another episode of the How to Trade Stocks Options podcast. Today, I have a special treat for you. We're doing more trading habits. We've already covered the first 12, and I love talking about this because there is so much valuable, useful information in here. Let's just go through these real quick as we get to number 13. Number 1 was a winning trading system must either be designed to have a large winning percentage or big wins and small losses. Number 2, your trading system must be built on quantifiable facts and not opinions. Number 3, look for low risk, high reward, high probability setups. Number 4, the answer to the question, what's the trend, is the question, what is your time frame? Number 5, start with the weekly price chart to establish the long-term trend. Work down through the daily and the hourly charts and trade in the direction of that trend. Number 6, the more times the support or resistance level is tested, the greater the odds that it will be broken. Old resistance can become the new support, and the old support can become the new resistance. Number 7, moving averages can quantify trends and create signals for entries, exits, and trailing stops. Number 8, bull markets have no long-term resistance, and bear markets have no long-term support. Number 9, the larger the market gaps, the greater the odds of continuation and a trend. Number 10, the last hour often tells the truth about how strong a trend truly is. Smart money shows their hand in the last hour. Number 11, above the 200 day is where bulls create uptrends and bad things happen below the 200 day. And finally, number 12, it's much easier to watch a few than many. So here we are. We're starting at 13. We're going to go through from 13 to 16 today. Number 13, trends never turn on a dime. Reversals build slowly. The first sharp dip always finds buyers, and the first sharp rise always finds sellers. Now, I think this is a bit controversial. Not because I don't believe it, it's because you probably don't believe it, because I believe it. I know it's true. Let's look at the S&P 500, SPY. I had this conversation with someone the other day. I was like, actually, it was on the Benzinga show. I was like, look, you can see reversals coming. If you're paying attention, if you are watching, if you have your indicators or anything that shows you something's happening, 10-day. Just one line in the sand. It's not that it loses 22% in a day, which it did back in 1987, but that's like the most unusual outlier event ever. Normal trend changes, even black swans, like the corona. If you're paying attention, you can see it coming, right? If you're paying attention, you would have got out maybe here before the 35% decline. Even if you didn't get out on February 21st, maybe you got out the next Monday on the 24th or even the 25th, right? It didn't make this entire move down all in one day. In fact, that entire move down took 23 days. And I'm telling you, on the 22nd and 21st and 23rd day, that's when people decided they were going to start selling their stocks and moving on. I can tell you that because I remember a family member of mine who felt like a genius because they sold. Do you know when they sold? But that's also the point on the chart where you can start seeing the trend reversing. You can look at any stock and see something similar, right? I'm only using the Corona crash because it was pretty recent. But if you're following Wells Fargo, I mean, you would have been chopped up here in the month leading up to its crash, but you would have avoided all of it. Let's go back to SPY. And recently, when we had a market downturn, it started breaking through moving averages, and then it continued down. Trends never turn on a dime. Reversals build slowly. The first sharp dip always finds buyers, and the first sharp rise always finds sellers. It is important for traders to understand that trends don't go straight up or straight down. And you can take advantage of that. And to give you some perspective, when I first started trading, I remember, well, first off, I did terrible. I blew up my account, 67% in the first 60 days, but it wasn't the market's fault. It was my fault because I didn't know what I was doing. But I remember having cold sweats at night because I had convinced myself the market's going to crash tomorrow. The market's going to crash tomorrow. What am I going to do? And then it didn't. Because markets don't act that way. They don't crash overnight. They build up to it. Number 14, successful trading is about consistently doing the difficult thing so often that it becomes second nature. Trading is the opposite of human nature. I'll tell you why. When you see $1 on the street, do you bend over and pick it up, or do you keep walking? You bend over and pick it up, right? You're like, oh, I got this $1, and that's human nature. And it's the same with trading, right? If you've got a small winner, do you take your small winner now? Or do you let your loser run, thinking hopefully they'll come back and then you can take your small winner? The people I initially learned to trade from felt that that was the way to trade. And I do not mathematically understand how they can say this. And they say it day after day. Let your losers run and cut your winners short. That doesn't work. When one of your losers is 5 times as big as one of your winners, now you need 5 winners to make up for the one loser. It's difficult to take entry signals with great risk-reward ratios because of deep dips in price. For example, it's difficult to take this breakout over the 10-day, just right here, because for the last few days, it's been going up and then straight back down. But then as you can see, it's gone up from there. Another difficult entry is to buy a breakout to new highs out of a price range. Let's look at one real quick. Somebody asked for this on the Benzinga show, and I was like, wow, good job. And Mark Minervini, this is his style of trading, is the breakout trading. And he's, U.S. Investing Championship, going to be 2 times over. The breakout can be scary because you don't know if it's going to work. But keep in mind that all of the people holding it, psychologically, they're all happy. They're all profitable. They're all making money. So you don't have overhead supply who want to sell. You've got everybody and their mom who's an investor in this profitable at this point. And they want to hold that because it's working for them. All the things that make a trader profitable are difficult to do. These are facts. Letting your winners run and cutting your losers short, that's hard because the human emotion is to, what we talked about earlier, right? Give your losers extra time to work, but take your winners immediately. Buy initial strength, short initial weakness, buy breakout, sell breakdown, short, let a winner run with the trailing stop, cut a loser short, and accept when you're wrong. All of that's hard to do. You know what else is hard to do? Is sit out, not do anything until you've got the signals. It's really hard to sit out, right? Imagine you wanted to trade, but you are a breakout trader. So this entire time that the market's been moving, you've been sitting on the sidelines. And only at this point, when it's crossed over, are you like, all right, let's get in. The patience to wait for your trade setup, that's also really hard. But that's why it says successful trading is about consistently doing the difficult thing. So often that becomes second nature. Number 15, the best trades work almost right away. They work almost right away because you plan them right. And if it doesn't work right away, just get out. The best trades are those that immediately go in your favor because your entry was at the right moment. Let's go back to the S&P 500 here. I mean, if you had traded long anytime over here, you'd have been profitable right away. But if you had traded over here, traded long, you wouldn't have been profitable right away. The best trades are the ones that work out right away because then you know you did everything right. And now you quickly realize this is going to be a winning trade and you shift your focus from if it will be successful to how to manage your winner. The odds of having a winning trade from the beginning increases if you wait for an initial move in the direction you want to enter. That can be hourly, that can be your 10-minute, that can be whatever. But just wait for that to show your direction. And once it does, that's your entry point, right? Weekly, daily, intraday. For me, I like to use the 12-minute. I just like a 12-minute. I have back tested it and it works really well for me. I like to wait until all of that is lined up in one direction and then I'll get in. Doesn't always work, of course, but it does set me up the right way. And this is instead of stepping in to catch a falling knife or sell a rocket ship short that's blasting upwards. The people that I learned to trade from initially, I know, I keep talking about it, and I'm not going to mention their names, but their whole deal was contrarian trading, which is how I lost so much money. Don't do that. Go with the trend. Go the direction the trend is going. Because if you want a contrarian trade and say that, no, it's got to go down from here, and then it doesn't, yeah, you're in a world of hurt. Last one of the day, number 16, Wishful thinking must be banished, by Jesse Livermore. Hope is a dangerous emotion in the stock market. Hope is a powerful tool when it fuels a trader's passion to learn, to study, and grow with patience and perseverance. However, hope is not a trading plan. It isn't a signal, and it certainly isn't a guide on what to do. Somebody that I know is, it's just something they say is that hope is not a strategy. Yeah, exactly. Hope is a great tool for personal goal setting, but a terrible guide for making trading decisions. Hey, listen, every time I buy a stock, I hope that it goes up. But if it turns around and goes down, it is now my job as a trader to control my risk. And I will not hope that the trade works for me at that point. I will follow my plan, and I will understand the risk that I'm taking. Of course, I hope it works. But I'm not going to watch it go down and just say, oh, I hope, oh, I hope, oh, I hope. You need to have your strategy. You need to be set up. You need to be ready to go. So I hope you found these useful. If you did, smash the like button. That lets YouTube know that you value this kind of content, and it shares it out with more people. This is the kind of information that I love talking about. I love sharing these insights, and I think Steve Burns did an incredible job, and I would highly recommend you pick up your own copy of Trading Habits, 39 of the world's most powerful trading tools here. Trading stock market rules. And do me a favor. Make sure you come back for more, because we still have a lot to go. We're only on number 16 out of 39. So if you enjoy this, smash the like button, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and come back for more tools, tips, and tricks to help you trade faster and trade smarter. And I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, so what'd you think? That was pretty incredible, right? Now, if you liked that, that's only a taste, only a sample of what you're going to find in the full AI stock trading system. And I really highly encourage you to go and check this out. Obviously, you are interested in learning on how to trade, and that's why you're listening to this podcast. Now, I'm going to take and download my entire trading system that I use day in and day out onto you. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is over at the AIStockTradingSystem.com. You're going to get phase 1, 2, and 3, several bonuses, and on top of that, I'm going to walk you through over a dozen trades that I put on inside of my account, holding your hand and showing you exactly how I got in, how I got out, how I use the artificial intelligence data, and how this could work inside of your own trading portfolio on a daily basis. So make sure you head on over to AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com to learn more and to get started and to download my decade plus worth of trading experience into your hands so you can start using the AI stock trading system today, the 5-step system to take the guesswork out of trading. Hey, if you like this video, let me know by leaving me a like below, and then subscribe and share it with somebody you think could use it as well. Be sure to comment below with your biggest takeaway from this episode and any suggestions you have for future episodes. And finally, make sure you watch these other videos to help you trade faster and trade smarter, and I'll see you on the next episode.